Sweet love.
Close the door behind you. You're now in the green room.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Green Room. I'm your host, Keddy Emmanuel. I'm in here today with Machaio Carter. Did I get your last name right?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And Machaio is joining us all the way from the island nation of Barbados, right?
Yes, sir.
Machaio is a Bajan. You know, it's time we had a Bajan on The Green Room, right?
Both
We had
things.
Isabella though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bajan.
But I think she's the only other Bajan person we've had in here. Yo, I'm excited to have you in here. And folks, let me explain why. Machaio is, aside from Ellie, the second team member on the Cadence team. Machaio is literally helping run Caribbean Cadence. In fact, if you were on our page today, today's Wednesday, we're recording this on a Wednesday, and he was in charge of Caribbean Cadence today. He was running the page, he posted the features, and he had the wheel in his hand. And so, Machaio, I'm really glad to have you on the team. Really excited to talk to you tonight.
It's definitely a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Folks, I wanted us to get to know Machaio a little bit better, right? I want you to know the team. You guys know me already. So Machaio, can you just introduce yourself to the people? Tell them a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your musical journey, you know, anything you want to share with us.
Good night. My name is Machaio Carter. I'm a keyboardist from Barbados. I've been playing keys since I was about 7, 8, 9, around that area. So I too good with the math, but I'm 17 now, so y'all can calculate how long I've been playing. Initially, I was on track to be a drummer because I had started out with drumming lessons and whatnot, but later gravitated towards keys playing and so on. As it is, I guess history. There's not much, right? I haven't been on the earth that long, but I always remember going to piano lessons. We were doing like classical and reading and stuff. And I always remember I would move away from the pianos, from the grand pianos, and put in the headphones in the keyboard and start messing around with tones and really trying to play by ear. Because that always fascinated me. I grew up in a family of all musicians. Mother plays and sings, father sings and plays. Everybody else, singing and stuff. But my father used to do production and stuff. So it really fascinated me how he could go on the piano and just start to, the sheet music and so I guess that is where my love for, ear and stuff originated. So I remember they used to call me bad. Because I used to go messing with the keyboard and stuff. But I don't know. Here we are a few years later. I know playing keys with ear again. No sheet music. It's like.
So do you still remember a little bit of the drumming thing? Are you also like low-key a drummer as well?
Well, I wouldn't say so. I will mess around here and there. When they're doing like building tracks or anything like that, I would do MIDI drums. But I know I like to hear for sure. But I'm not sure if I could replicate it in real life.
Okay, all right. Just speaking about your journey here, because I know you mentioned, being classically trained, right? And so you know how to read, and you have that formal background. How has that formal background helped your journey? Because you were also interested in learning by ear, right? So
yeah,
how did that initial fundamental structure help you out in terms of?
Well, I would say more so with the performance aspect. because with the classical training and what's not, we had to do recitals and stuff in front of audience. Getting accustomed to being in the spotlight for playing and what's not. So I guess it helped me to become more accustomed to being in the, I don't know, as a spotlight again, but in the spotlight in front of people and playing in front of people and what's not. But as of now, I cause I don't remember much much of the trading because mainly all they do is air right now.
Right.
But I guess in that performance aspect, it's helping.
Yeah, man. I remember when I first started playing, I was about 12, 13 years old, and it used to be real nerve-wracking, like just just coming in front of a whole group of people, picking up an instrument, and there's a level of responsibility that you have as a musician because you can make or break,
Yeah, sure.
and I think that responsibility shouldn't be crippling, but we should be aware of it. Whether you're playing for an event, whether you're playing for worship, whatever you're playing for, remember that you make or break, so that's key right there.
I can tell you that could be crippling for sure. And that pressure you can make or break. Oh boy. But it's good to be aware, yeah.
Yeah, man. I want you to tell us a little bit about music in Barbados. If you were to just paint a picture for us of what it's like as somebody who's creative in Barbados. What are the opportunities that you have available to you? What are the mentors that you have? What are the different paths that you can use to a career in live performance? Share with us what you know.
Well, I would say there's a lot of knowledge with the older musicians that a lot of the younger musicians don't necessarily tap into.
Okay.
But there is definitely related to mentorship. There's definitely a lot of knowledge that can be had. I guess I could say it's competitive.
Okay.
But no, the industry in Barbados, but as know with COVID is even more so competitive because the opportunity is more scarce, right? More sparse. So a lot of times you would see a lot of the same musicians coming back. Like for example, musicians that would be touring or on cruises and stuff. But no, they're stuck in Barbados, so they take all the gigs. I just make it sort of, but yeah, I would say it's competitive, but as it relates to mentorship, for sure, there's a lot of information, there's a lot of knowledge.
What about schools and resources in terms of learning?
I could speak from my school. It wasn't the smoothest ride. It's the music because I can remember lugging big evil amps to school to just play a morning service. But there wasn't much equipment and stuff. But I know of other schools that have some nice programs like Harrison's College and what's not. That have some nice music programs, and then you have the some past musicians that will be products of the school coming back in and helping out. So it's pretty nice. Not from my school as yet. I hope to be the past musician that come back and try and make a change, but as I know,
Yeah, man, for sure. I remember speaking to Folger, Jonathan Folger.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I never say his first name. I always say his last name, Folger.
Straight up.
He was mentioning to me in an episode not too long ago where he said that, in Jamaica, the scene is kind of stratified in terms of, the gospel musicians stay in their gospel lane, the reggae musicians stay in their reggae lane, and it just it's kind of layered that way. People might, kind of transition back and forth, but it's very, very stratified. Is that the same in Barbados?
No, I wouldn't say so. Because I know of a lot of gospel musicians that book a reggae gig, book a soca gig, and they come and play gospel on Sunday night.
Right.
So I know that for sure. I wouldn't say is as stratified as in Jamaica.
Okay. All right. Yeah, man, it's interesting to me how across the region you have different musical worlds. And that really brings me back to the cadence in terms of how do we sew connections between all of these different islands, which we're all very similar, but also very different at the same time. Right. And so that kind of brings me to our discussion here tonight about Caribbean cadence. So I don't want to put you on the spot, right? I'm not going to put you on the spot. But why did you decide? Give me a reason or a few reasons why you decided to hop on the team.
I really like the page. I like it. Where it's promoting the Caribbean creatives and the arrangers, all the musicians for the Caribbean. Um, it has even helped me with my own arrangements and what's not. Where I was looking for musicians, I would just go on Caribbean cadence and scroll through until I find somebody, it's a good network, I would say too, with the cadence, with the cadence crew. We have access to so many musicians and so much knowledge as well.
Right.
I would say I was interested in it for a while now. The page, watching the page, I really like the creativity that would come into the Caribbean and so forth. I don't think there is another platform, not that I know of, that promotes the musicians and stuff from across the Caribbean like it. So I happy to be a part.
Yeah, man, and we're happy to have you as well. And just even going beyond that now, guys. First off, shameless plug. Machaio, even before he joined the actual team, he participated in the first ever Carry collab. And you're probably wondering what you're talking about. So the Carry collab initiative, it's actually Carry collabs. It's basically us pulling from the very network that Machaio just referred to and bringing together musicians across the Caribbean region from the Caribbean diaspora to create together. So we create a STEM track and we share it with a team of musicians. And these musicians then work together to create their own interpretation of this STEM. Right. And I'm kind of thinking down the line, we need to pull in Ellie on this conversation, but thinking down the line of doing covers as well. I don't know if we're averse to covers. I think covers might be pretty dope. But yeah, so Kyrie collabs. This is an ad. Watch out for it.
Shameless plug, right?
Yeah, it's coming out. We have Machaio on there. We have Trey from Jamaica, the bassist. You've seen him on the platform if you follow us. And we have Copy. I'm forgetting his actual name. I have a lot of social media handles in my head, but we have Copy from Grenada, I believe. I hope I don't get that wrong. I believe it's Grenada. Don't get mad at me if I yeah. But yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to the Carry collabs. Let me tell you what I've heard so far. Magic. So we're looking at magic already. So just brace yourself. It's coming soon. I would even estimate probably within the next 2 weeks. So just watch out. Watch out for that for sure. Now that my shameless plug is over, we're done. Now I want to ask you, future. We're looking down towards the future, right? You're on this team, we're working together, and we want a vision. They say without a vision, the people perish. I'm a church boy, so So tell me a little bit of what you might think or hope that you would see down the line for Caribbean Cadence in a perfect world.
Down the line for sure. I heard some of you guys talking about it a little while back. talking about a jam session where everybody come to one island and come and just share ideas and what's not.
Right.
But with COVID and stuff, I don't know how possible that would be right now. But that for sure, I know it would elevate the music in the Caribbean so much because you got all the ideas coming from the different backgrounds and what's not. Yeah, that would be amazing. Just thinking about it. That'd be amazing, man. Also education. I think you were talking about this earlier. Where we have just teaching different basics and even in music business and what's not, stuff that everybody wouldn't have access to on a regular. But yeah, I was just about to say collab across the board, but just remember
We're already doing that.
We're already doing that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But what would be cool is in the future, past this COVID stuff, we all hoping to get past it. But in the future, moving past COVID, you could have a collab where the musicians are in one spot together, and you fly everybody in to one studio, maybe for even a week, and you just create some magical stuff.
Well, album.
Album, EP, a cadence EP. Listen, man.
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah, and I could even see I'm imagining like the production value on that being very high, and have you ever seen Shed Sessions?
Shed Tracks on Shed Tracks.
Shed Tracks, no, not Shed Tracks, but I believe there used to be the show called Shed Sessions. I might be getting the name wrong. But basically, it would just be a band coming together and, just creating, playing. And I remember I was a little kid. I was probably about, I believe I was about 10, 11. And I'm in my living room right here in St. Lucia at this house. And I was doing something. I don't know if I was maybe ironing my clothes or something. And on the TV, these musicians just came up and, it's just live music they're playing. And that's probably when I figured out that I really love music because I could not stop watching. I was just watching. I was like, yo, this is amazing. Like, what? And I don't think I even played anything yet. I'm pretty sure I wasn't playing anything yet. But I was just transfixed just looking at these musicians playing, man. And yeah, I think we can create some really powerful stuff coming out of the region. And I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, man, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Now, so guys, only a few, Machaio, was probably 2 or 3 months ago. I got a message from you regarding an event that you were working on and looking at marketing, right? And we had a conversation. And honestly, a lot of the stuff I was telling you is stuff that I read from this book. I'll shout out the book right now, Marketing for Dummies. I learned a lot from it. I recommend it to anybody watching this. But Ellie brought up to me in our last cadence team meeting. Yes, we do have those. And he was telling me that, he saw a need. And the need that he saw was basically opportunity, a gap for musicians to learn how to brand themselves online, an opportunity to teach Caribbean musicians how to post and how to craft social media posts. And yes, there are many resources for you to learn how to do this. There are a lot of master classes for social media marketing and all this stuff, but there are things that are unique to musicians and particularly unique to our region that I think we can speak to. And it's going to be an ongoing conversation, but I'm hoping before the beginning of next year for us to have an action plan on exactly how we can give back to the region and elevate the knowledge in across the platform for musicians to learn how to brand themselves, learn how to post. You have the content, you have the talent, but you need to know what to do with it, right?
Yeah, I definitely like that. Even about earlier when we were talking about the vision, I was saying education and stuff. But that's perfect example where I would have been lost if I had not gotten the information from you about the marketing or what's not. So I feel like if we can make this public, make this information public and what's not, that it will receive well.
Yeah, man. Because even if here's a simple example, because musicians, you're probably watching this and you're probably like, what you talking about? Let me tell you. So you're a drummer, right? You're a drummer and you're at this rehearsal and the band sounds amazing. You're locked in with the bassist, the singers are blazing, everything's great. You take your phone because you want people to hear this, right? You feel like people would rock with what you're doing. Instead of taking your phone and placing it nicely, maybe, on a little ledge or something, so people can actually see your face, see your sticks, you place your phone on the floor. So all we can see,
or something.
Yeah, we can see like the bottom of your snare. And yes, a musician will probably still take the time to listen and say, okay, oh yeah, I can feel a little vibe. Yeah, I can hear a little vibe. But most people scrolling down their social media timeline, if they see the bottom of your snare, they're not turning their sound on. They're just gonna keep scrolling, bro. And you have to be aware of how other people are moving on the platform, how people are relating to content, so that you don't waste your time with your content.
Sure. Because I mean, even that same example, I could relate it back to your church in wherever country you're from, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got the option to go to whatever elevation. You could go to any other church, but so there's no real reason why you still at your church except that it's your church. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, because what I think you're saying there is basically that in this day and age now, you're competing with so much other content.
Right.
Right? Is that kind of where you're going?
Yeah. This it's crazy. It's crazy to think about it because even like you could post something and half your followers not even know that you post, right? And they're on Instagram like regular scrolling through, and they're seeing on your stuff. And also, if chances are, if they like your bass playing, they're probably like another bass player. They're probably like a more popular bass player that would be the algorithm will favor. So it's a tricky thing there, I guess.
Yeah, man. And what's even trickier is even beyond all of that, there's also the fact that you don't want to change yourself just for views and for likes and for reach in the algorithm, right? And guys, y'all watching this, I want to tell you that that is something that we constantly talk about behind the scenes for the Cadence team, because let me tell y'all a little secret, right? Drummers, automatic reach, distribution, high numbers, high likes, like almost every single time. Guitarist, great fills, great runs, great skill. You could be tapping, playing harmonics, doing all sorts of stuff. People generally not really watching guitarists on the Cadence platform. Like I've shared some top-notch guitar playing, and we'll get like 100 views, 200 views, and I'm like, wow, boy, like people. So the thing is, we as a platform, we have to always remember to stay true to who we are, and what we are is sharing the very best of the Caribbean, the platform for learning and networking, And so we cannot bend to what the algorithm is basically telling us, which is only share drum videos, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because if we were just about the views and the likes, that's kind of what we'd be doing, just sharing drum video after drum
Sharing
video.
videos.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I want to encourage you too, like if you're a musician, or even beyond a musician, a creator, don't forget who you are just because you want the views and the likes. But at the same time, it's a balance, because you also have to adjust. You have to adjust to what people want a little bit sometimes. But you also
the snare.
Yeah. So it's a balancing act, man. Definitely a balancing act. So, boss, before we step out, do you have anything else? Any questions for me? Anything you want the viewers and listeners to know?
Well, I would just shout out my boys, my boy Sharon, my bassist.
Oh, yeah.
We got Simeon Maynard with the drums. Got shout out my boys, man. Dial Harvey on the sax. Got shout out my boys. But if there's anything else I could say, October 24th, sorry. October 24th, we got a concert coming for you, man. Worship experience, like if you never see one, you understand?
All right.
All right.
Is that gonna be a live stream?
Yeah. Like
okay.
Premiering on YouTube and Facebook.
All right, folks. Keep an eye out for that for sure.
Are you ready? I will send you the information. You can start real.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So folks, yeah, keep an eye out for that. As always, you know that the Green Room comes at you every single month. We're shooting for the third week of the month. Yo, I got to tell you, sometimes, you know, the time just gets away from me. So here we are on the last week. Tomorrow is October. But, you know, we're still here, though, which is the most important thing. We're still here. And we'll be coming back at you next month. And keep an eye out. See you soon.